How about for you? Because TikTok, as both of you are very active on there, and that's where you have a lot of eyeballs, there are not only older, informed people who may be doing their research, and there are also very young people who are maybe not doing the research and really relying on the content they're consuming on social media sites. What do you do to ensure that what you're putting out there and what you're teaching the kids, even in your classroom, is driven by accuracy?
Well, one thing I'd actually push back against is young people being uninformed. There are low information voters across every age bracket. And I think that what we found with the advent of social media, somebody who grew up, like I had access to Facebook in elementary school and I had a cell phone in high school. I'm in my 30s, right? So there is a bit of a gap there between me and the current youth. But the people who properly use the tools available to them, I would argue, are more informed than the average voter in the older age bracket, simply because they've grown up in a news information environment. That being said, when we go and we post online, there are a lot of bad faith actors out there, people who will only smear one party. And listen, when it comes to Ontario, I'm a little more biased because there's a direct impact on my life. But when it came to the federal election, I've been doing everything in my power to properly criticize all the major parties and to make sure that people know, like, listen, regardless of the shift in the polls, even if your chosen candidate is going to win, even if you like the direction of the country, it is all of our responsibilities to constantly be criticizing those in power and to constantly be making sure that we are pushing for the things that we believe in. And for example, right now with the Conservatives struggling in the polls, I tell my followers, like, that is not something to be excited about if you are not a fan of Pierre Poilievre, because that means that functionally with the NDP now potentially being in the single-digit seats, if the Conservatives end up in disarray, that means that Mark Carney, if he gets a majority government, is going to have no functional opposition. That is not healthy for democracy. And so I do my best, even though my followers are a little bit more left-leaning, I do my best to try to remind them that there are important things in democracy, regardless of whether or not you believe in them or agree with them, that we all have a responsibility to be focusing on the country as a whole and to not let partisan politics get in the way of making this country the best that it has to be. And not all creators are speaking in that tone or in that light. And there are a lot of people who are essentially spreading misinformation and bashing one party or the other. And it happens on both sides.
And that